be a bit like Bob Ross. I could paint a picture. A lot of people want to see how I paint a picture. I want to say, I've said it a lot before, but if it wasn't for Fallstone on the forums, none of this would have happened really. The way we came together with it was great. I wrote a little program, just fiddling around with the graphics extension ROM one day, sort of turn of events, and I just thought, wow, no one really did much of that graphics extension ROM. I saw a demo of some colours like in the ROM, like tiles, and I thought, wow, you know, and no one did much Mode 2 art back in the day. I don't seem to remember seeing much. A lot of it was AMX and Mode 1, Joe Lavery, because I remember the old days, as we all do, Acorn User and the AMX mouse. I did a lot of stuff with the AMX mouse. I will revisit that, I think, at some stage, and maybe venture into Mode 1 again. We'll see. But me and Fallstone together, I wrote this little art program, and I was really struggling with it. I mean, I'm not a programmer, but I managed to make the mouse move. I managed to, I did document this on the forum, so you've probably read it, but managed to get like a really basic thing of like being able to paint a blob, and I think even Phil with the graphics extension on the BBC, and then Fallstone wrote to me. It was really nice, you know, and said, "Hey, Mike, I really like what you've done this first attempt. It's great, you know." And I thought it was a bit rubbish, and he said, "Do you want me to try to see if I can help you?" And so we built up this nice sort of relationship where he said, "All right, if you can paint me a picture, I'll try and do a bit of code, you know." And that was about 3 years ago. So so the first program, initially we wrote this on the BBC, and it was using the graphics extension ROM, and we got quite far with it, and we got to the point. The thing was, I wanted to start painting with a tablet a bit, and I got some really rubbish cheapo tablets here, because there's, you know, buying a you know, one of the Wacom ones with a screen is a fortune. So you could just ask me questions, anyone, by the way, as I'm waffling on. But so I had these cheap Atom tablets, and I said to him, I was trying to run BBEM, and we were trying to run our program, and when you would draw, you know, they were just so slow. So we were wondering what to do about that, because as I started asking for more things from him, I said, what about a menu with palette of colours, so we can pick colours from a palette? And we started hitting a bit of a limit with the BBC and BBEM with the amount of memory, and it was all done in BASIC. I mean, so then we moved on to BBC Basic, and that was great, because I've got the BBC Basic version. By the way, if anyone wants to download this program that I use to do the pictures, you can go to the internet and you can just go to Google and just type Art for Windows. And I chiefly use this program now to do all my pictures, or a lot of them. I'd quite like to go back to a BBC Micro and get another one. But yeah, I'm always toying with that. You know, should I really be doing this on the original hardware. Up to a point we were using BBC Basic for ages for Windows, and that was great. And then we hit a bit of a, I think it was more of a speed thing really, because I couldn't paint my pictures on my cheap Atom tablets at a reasonable speed. The paintbrush was lagging, so Fullstone said, okay, we're going to have to move this over to Power Basic, right? And we can get you the speed that you need. So at the moment, he's carried on in that, and the program outputs to BBC Micro. Sometimes I go back to the BBC Basic version just for nostalgia. Anyway, you can download it, the program there, and you get the Art for Windows folder. And there's lots of different versions in here, but this is the one I use, Art Forever version 4. So yeah, that's what we're using at the moment. And we added, I mean, he added so much cool stuff in it, as you've seen. But so you're presented with this screen, and you've got layers here now, which has been very useful. Part of me thinks, am I cheating? You know, sometimes I paint pictures without them, but it is useful having layers, as I'll show you a bit later. He's got an extra toolbox here for things. There's color cycling, as you've seen in the pictures. And it's all at mode 2 resolution, this, so you can also save. I've got them scattered around loads of places, but a few people have been asking me, but somewhere I've got all these pictures as BBC format across loads of hard drives, but I'm so chaotic. One day I must get them together, just whack them somewhere for everyone. So when you start the program, you can choose your brush size. I mean, a lot of this stuff you can see. I did the icons. Fullstone did all the coding. So let's just do a picture. As I've been watching people today and listening to you all, I've had my art screen up and I've painted a picture, and you'll see it later. Here's one I did late, you know. Here's one I did previously, but we'll do the sort of same picture. Sometimes you can load in a picture and trace around it if you want onto a layer. Sometimes I do that, but I just like to just fire it open and see what happens. I think the magic when you do that. But yeah, give it a go. I use this BBC Micro. Everyone might know this converter, but if you convert a program to this converter and save it, so like I'm doing here, stretch it. I might dither it so I can see a bit more. So you know, if people aren't that skilled, or you just want to give it a go, or even, I mean, I sometimes even do it. It's not a question of being skilled or not, just whatever it takes. Save it as BBC format there. So pick. It's amazing what he did here to allow people, and then you can go into the program and say, okay, I'm going to select BBC format, current layer, because you can load more one. I'll whiz through this quite quickly, but I think when you play around, you can see layer 1 now is that picture in mode 2 format. So, you know, you could use that and start painting over it if you want. I'm going to clear it for now. I'll show you the different stuff. So I'm going to whiz through it really quickly, how I normally do a picture. And there's no magic to it. I mean, I think a lot of it's quite formulaic, really, but I would say that. But so, like, sometimes I look at pictures as I'm painting them, but not often. I'll just do it and see what happens. But so I came across this picture and I thought, wow, that looks quite cool. Be good to try and do a version of that. And then so I think to myself, okay, how am I going to do this? What's the best thing? Often put the sky on the first layer. So it's going to be quite quick. Right, I'm going to click quite quickly here, but you've got the palette down here. You've got all your shades here. You can even select, you know, make your own patterns. That was quite cool. I haven't really got into using that yet, but you can. I need be mean to do some more pictures like that with the patterns. A very useful thing that I use all the time is the translucent tool. This is amazing, this, but a bit like D-Paint from the Amiga when you had the, you know, you can, if you've got that translucent thing ticked there, any color you pick on the bottom row here will come through translucent. So, I mean, I use that. I think that's the single most feature I use out of everything in these pictures. So, so we got gradient, fill. So you pick your first color. See, I've just got you 2 gradients there at the moment. So I'm just going to whiz through a few of the tools. So you can see I've got blue there and purple selected there. If I was to select, say, yellow, and in my second color, so yellow selected there, but my second color I'll choose this black on the bottom row, you can see that you get this really cool effect. I'm still amazed by what he did, some of the things there. I reckon I'm going to challenge him to see if we can get us across back to the BBC Micro, but we won't be able to do all of it. But it would be quite good to get a Micro VTech Cup and a BBC again. I do miss them.
Do you mind if I ask, what is your input controller? Are you using a mouse?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's funny, you know. Yeah, I do use a tablet. I've got one. This Atom tablet I've got. I think I've got I bought it really cheaply, like a Lenovo ThinkPad 2, about 30 quid off eBay. Most of my pictures, a lot have been done with that. But sometimes when I just want to do a picture, I find it quite hard to paint with the mouse, but it's the most immediate thing, isn't it? You're at the internet just reading away and you think, I'll just try a picture now. And some of the pictures, of course, a lot better with the mouse. A lot of the time when I'm using the line tool, you can get, so it depends what it is, but for a picture like this, maybe I'd use the mouse. I'll show you why. And another thing I've been doing recently is I thought, because I quite like having the computer on all the time in this program, so it's a bit of a hassle with the tablet because then you've got to export it, upload it to Google Drive. I haven't really sorted it. It's all right when I'm painting a picture, but I just thought I really want to just do it on the computer. So I've been using VNC with my iPad, and I did VNC to the screen last week and started painting on the iPad with a cheap stylus. But I tried Google remote desktop, but the clicks, it didn't like those. So that might be something if you want to try setting up VNC server and using your iPad or your finger. I'm trying to get this program working in SDL at the moment, in BBC Basic, and trying to turn it into a portrait because I don't like holding the tablet in landscape. I find it quite awkward. But anyway, I've changed my mind over the years so many times asking for things. I think Paulstone's a bit busy nowadays, but so anyway, yeah, most of the time I'm using the mouse. So sorry, I'm going to get behind. So let's do a really quick picture. So layer 1, okay, let's do a gradient. I might select blue. I might select, I don't know, red, and draw a gradient there. You can undo, so do that, and then you might say, okay, let's go from red to yellow. This is quite, I didn't quite do like this before, but you can already see that looks cool, doesn't it? I haven't even done the thing. So yeah, and then you might say, okay, let's go to number 2 now, and let's get the gradient tool and tell you what, this is really good. Hack this. So let's just say if I get the gradient tool and choose two colors, black and red. So I've got red there, and sorry, let's just try that black there. I haven't got the translucent tool on. So I might just start doing it. So I'm going to slide this all the way down, you know, the brush size, otherwise the squares come out really big. And let me just go back. There's differences with the blacks here, so I'm just going to select a solid black right up here, not the ones on the bottom, and a red here. So you've got solid. Have I done that right? Let me just draw one and see. No. Let's just see what I wanted. That, yeah, you have to fiddle around with it a bit, but that one's black and that one's red there, so you can see. I'm going to just do now. Watch this. Look. So if I just look, I'm not even going to look at what I'm doing here. I'm just going to plonk loads of things on here. You know, it's like Bob Ross, isn't it? So, you know, chuck some of that there. Just select another color, maybe make the squares a bit bigger at the front. I don't know, you could. I might be inclined to put that on layer 3 and maybe do a gradient on layer 2. You know, so I could keep doing all of this, but you get the idea. Blah 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 blah. And build it up. I might want to put some really light ones at the front there, the yellows. You know. I wasn't even thinking about what I was doing earlier when I was watching all of you lot. I was just doing this basically, picking colours out and just plonking stuff down. So already, without really doing anything, you can see. Let's fill these in. You can do quite cool stuff with just like nothing. Got any questions, anyone? While I'm just grabbing on.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of Mode 7 pictures lately from you.
Yes, the Mode 7 stuff's interesting. At the moment, I'm trying to get this bloke. I was talking to him last night, but this TT Edit guy, who's writing this new teletext editor. I'm trying to get him. My big thing is animation. I really want to do animation in teletext, and it can be quite time consuming. I use Movie Maker with Slippery Slug, which is good, but what I kind of want to do is sort of color cycling in teletext, and that's a bit weird, but the sort of thing that I do with this would be nice to be able to do in teletext. So with the teletext stuff, I might paint a picture, I might convert it to teletext, and then I might use Edit TF. So anyway, I'm running behind a bit here, but so let's say I've got some things here, right? Now the other thing I'll say is I'm going to switch this QS on because this is quick save and I use this all the time. So I just press S and it will save all of those layers in one go in the art folder here, and you'll see it saves them there. It saves them in BBC Micro format and it saves them in PNG format as well. There is a slight issue with this program, with this at the moment, something to do with transparency, but I think I've been all right with it. But it's interesting, it does save in BBC format each of those layers, you know. And I use that as I'm going through it. I will keep saving in case I have to go back. You've got a fill here. I don't know what that does. There's not much to this really. This saves single layers rather than the whole 5 layers, but it's so small. So yeah, you can carry on painting that basically. Then something else I might do is you see in a lot of my pictures, but let's say I get all that painted at the front there. I might then I've got 10 minutes, so let's see. So I might put some fog in. So let's stay on this layer, but let's choose a translucent white and solid. So basically, if I do a rectangle, you can see in the background now, I could undo that, but you can see I put a bit of fog along there. And then I might say, okay, let's take the dithering down a bit and put a bigger band of fog above it. So you get some really nice effects there. I might even want to paint. You've got your paintbrushes here. Sorry, I missed the most obvious one, but you've got your paintbrushes here as well. So you might even want to put a bit of fog in like that there. And your sizes. You've got an airbrush here. I don't really use much of this stuff, but you can copy and paste in this. I haven't really used that very much, but you can select copy in area, go to paste, and then hit that pencil key, and he did put copy and paste in there, which is great. You know, I keep pestering to put more stuff in this, and I will do. I can't think what else next. I mean, the teletexting would be really cool, but we'll see. And then, okay, so that's that. And then I might go to another layer. I'll go back to my main things again. Just say the colors on the bottom are the cycle colors. The colors are the solid ones on the top. And you've got auto color cycling. I'll show you in a minute. So let's say we might paint a few clouds in on layer 3. So I bet everyone's probably thinking, oh God, he makes it look so easy, this. But anyway, look, you're just going to whack a few clouds in, select a bit of white, and then push the translucency up a bit, maybe, you know, chuck some clouds there, I don't know. And then we've got the rays in a minute. I might get a bright white, a much brighter white there, and go back to layer 2 again, and just put it in right at the top of the horizon there, and wobble it a bit. It's probably a bit too bright, that, but it's probably, yeah. I think really that needs to be even smaller, and you know, just on the horizon there. Another thing I do pay attention to when I'm painting is I do pay attention to light. So in a lot of the pictures, I do put a highlight on the side of the building. So if I do a sun or something up here, let's do a bright sun and take the translucency off on layer 3. If I do a bright sun and then I put the translucency on again, and I've got this, you can see what I'm doing here with the fill tool, and I'm going to take that down again a bit more. I mean, already you can say, well, that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? So you can build up. So I might do that, and then I might decide. A lot of the pictures, I do use highlights a lot because they can look quite. So the sun's there, so I might think, okay, I might even go to layer 5 and say, all right. I mean, this picture's quite light, but I might get that and say, right, I'm going to put a few little highlights on the sides of the building there. Let's drop the size of the brush. So you can see, you know, the sun might catch the sides of the building on this side because it's on nearer to the right-hand side. Maybe on the left, maybe on the right-hand side, we'll do some highlights on the buildings where the sun might be catching it on the other side. So I do think about these things as I'm painting them. So already I've used a few layers there. I'm coming to the end soon. You need hours for this. But anyway, I might decide that I want blue, a bit more blue up the top there. Look, so I'm going to go down to the blue tool, the bottom, put translucency on. I don't know how well this will work. Sometimes you get like weird art, a bit of a weird artifact there. So I could just, I might leave that for now. Sometimes you do get that and you just think, oh, I'll just leave it, you know. And then if I look at that picture, I might think, all right, there is a bit more blue in the background to this picture, really, as you go So I might be inclined to stick a bit more blue round about here, or I don't know what colour. And maybe a bit at the side there, down here. And then we got the rays, right? So that I've got 3 minutes. So the rays, translucent. I might do some rays like this. To hide. I'm gonna be really quick now. Say like that. Maybe those are a bit strong, but take those down a bit. Okay. And then one important thing actually, I might go right to the bottom with that, do a very subtle ray, you know, and then choose the next one up, and then do one that is not quite, it's a bit denser in, so you can see like you get this nice sort of, you know, I'm not being very accurate there, but right, so that's that. And then you might want to put some color cycle sun into this. So select the pen tool. You can either use the lines and the circles, or you can draw the color cycles in yourself. If you want, I'll show you the automatic color cycle, but let's take the translucency tool off. I'll select the pen tool. I'll select the color cycling tool, and when I start drawing, you can see often I'm doing this to the mouse, slow and then fast. So so you might get the sun's rays coming out there. So once you've got your colored cycle image, you switch on the color, the play button, the little man, slide the slider up just to choose your colors here, hold the mouse button down. So you can see I've got a nice sort of sun ray going on there. And then I might say, okay, let's create a folder. Pick, oh, okay, we'll just new folder. Export it. And then all I end up doing is just export it, call it P. It's not, and it just exports each color cycled frame, separate frames. So then I use a GIF maker on the internet, you know, animated GIF maker. But yeah, you could save these. You could effectively save that as a BBC micro file, which I've got somewhere. And that, so you know, you select all the I'm going to run over, but select all the frames and make a GIF and choose the speed, and there you've got it. You know. So there it is, and then you can just you could go back there. You could say, okay, now this is quite important. You go to take the quick save off and say, right, save this as a final picture. Discard the transparency. So save pic. That is the final picture you can post on Stardot, or you could say save it as a BBC micro file with merged. So I could say pic color cycled, and that is a BBC. It's all flattened down. It's ready to go. Load into a BBC, that straight into BBEM, and you could display that. Yeah, that's basically how I do pictures, really. As I was talking, so here's one I made earlier. So here we are. So as I was talking, watching you all, I was just fucking around, but I did that one there with. I'm going to post that in a second. Stardot, and I mean, mainly I was painting on. I didn't really use too many layers there. I was mainly painting on layer 5 there. I think I did the sky initially, but it's nice. You can change the colours here as well of the cycle. So yeah, and you know, I might say, all right, I just want a little bit more translucency at the front here. So yeah, if I look at the image, just get a very subtle white and just wash it across. You know, maybe a bit of yellow. So yeah, but it's all really sort of translucency and layers. Any questions, anyone?
if there aren't any, I'll just read out what's been written in the chat, because obviously that won't make it across to the video. Just a few comments from Robert. Oh, there you go. Virtual round of applause from Brian, from Helpful. Clint, worthwhile, talented.
No, stop.
Earlier on, we had Robert. But if I did this, it would look a complete mess. Pixelblip has a natural talent for colour and shade. I think, as I mentioned, a couple of my friends have dialed in especially for this talk, and they messaged me privately, very much enjoying this. Thanks, Dave. And then on my phone, I've got I actually love to see people's creative processes coming together like this. Also want to thank Simon Sideburns, because it was his tip, his suggestion, that we invite you along to do a live demo. So Simon, I hope it's met your expectations. He's nodding.
Well, I hope everyone can start painting some pictures, because yeah, it'd be good to see some pictures from everyone else, so I can get on with my Music 5000. You know.
Well, you've made me feel like I could even have a go.
Oh, yes, look at it. I'm just painting with blocks. I haven't really done anything there. Yeah, give it a go, you know. I mean,
who knows? That's probably all I'd do anyway.
Well, what's very effective, I don't want to run over it, but, you know, let's just say this. What's very effective, go on, I can show you this really quickly. I mean, if you can't do, you know, if you're not even, I mean, some of my most popular images. So if I get the color cycle tool again, let's just switch color cycling on. You know, some of the most popular images are just doing this sort of stuff. You know, like a bicycle. You know, you know, and then let's draw some like wind. Yeah, let's draw some wind sort of blowing. Speed it up a bit. And you can see this gap stuff here, but you can draw lines. You know, you can have lines with gaps in them of different speeds. So that's very good for creating an illusion of something up front, and then bring down the gaps a bit and make things look like they're in the background more. So, you know, just drawing with the color cycling tool, so much fun. And isn't color cycling amazing on BBC Micro? I mean, the whole reason I got into it was I remembered all those color cycling demos. I remember that planets one. We all must remember that. It drew out a set of planets and then they all span. I remember the first time I saw that, and I think I kept that in my mind all these years and thought, wow, color cycling was so cool, wasn't it? So, and yeah, it's proved to be, isn't it? It's everybody goes mad for it on the internet, the colour cycle pictures. I think the simplicity of them and the fact they're just 8 frames and the illusion of movement when they're not moving. Yeah, anyway, look, I'm overrunning now, so there we are. But I'm going to back to post my picture up on Stardot, all right?
Right, thanks, Mike. I think we definitely need to invite you back for a part 2.
Yeah, okay.
Meetings times to look at, you know, look at animation. Yeah.
I'll put my I'll put my light on there, my spotlight, so at least you can see me. Yeah. So yeah, there we are. Not too difficult, I hope, everyone.